When it comes to photography and art, nothing beats investing in a solid entry-level DSLR camera. Regardless of whether you're looking for the budget entry-level DSLR cameras, or just want to have the best entry-level DSLR camera that money can buy, you came to the right place. If you're interested in finding out which entry-level DSLR camera is best for you, stay tuned. Before getting started, I'd like to say that this list is based on my personal opinion, research and the test experiences of the actual owners. So, without further ado, let's get started with the list. The Canon EOS 750D is a DSLR that, while not bottom rung, like the EOS 1200D, is reasonably affordable, and offers simple operation that'll appeal to those who don't want to get knee-deep into the manual side of photography. It gets you the DSLR benefits of lens choice and good image quality, without the daunting learning curve. It's 25 grams lighter than its predecessor, the 700D, and feels nicely low heft for a DSLR, without getting rid of the large hand grip. The next step would be to add weatherproofing to more affordable cameras, like the Canon EOS 750D, but that's not here yet. This is still reserved for Canon's more expensive cameras. A light, polycarbonate body camera may become a disadvantage if you're looking to mount giant fast lenses, but if you want to sample some of Canon's cheaper high-quality options, like the bargain 50mm f1.8 lens, they'll suit the Canon EOS 750D perfectly. What's rather more specific to the Canon EOS 750D is a very laid-back control style. It has just the single manual control wheel up on the top plate, and a very easy-to-reach mode dial. The imaging sensor is new, too, with the 24-megapixel resolution to match chief rivals, the Nikon D3500 and Nikon D5600. There's also a new metering sensor that measures the brightness of the scene at 7,560 points, which is a significant step up over the 63-zone metering of EOS 700D. Continuous shooting performance is a match for the 700D and D5500 at 5 fps, with a modest amount of buffer memory that maintains this speed for 7 raw frames, before it slows to the speed of whatever SD card you have inserted in its SD card slot. Battery life is rated at 440 shots, though, far short of the D5500's 820 shots. And the viewfinder has regressed slightly, going from a 0.85x to a 0.82x magnification. That equates to 0.51x magnification on a full-frame camera, which makes it one of the smallest viewfinders currently offered by an interchangeable lens camera. Only Canon's low-end EOS 1300D has a smaller magnification viewfinder at 0.8x. The Nikon D3300 was until very recently our pick of entry-level DSLRs. It certainly ticks a lot of boxes for first-time users. The 24MP sensor delivers great images, it's easy to use, has an impressive battery life and is backed up by an impressive array of lenses and accessories. The arrival though of the D3400 with a virtually identical spec and built-in connectivity for roughly the same price means the newer camera just edges it. The resolution may be the same as the D3200, but the D3300 has plenty of other improvements under the bonnet. Chief among these is the new XPET-4 image processing engine. Nikon's fastest processor yet, it improves the D3300's ISO sensitivity to an impressive maximum of 25,600 in its shooting rate to 5 fps, not top of the league but very impressive for an entry-level camera. There are also a few new automatic flash modes, including an option for fill flash. The Nikon D3300 features a high-resolution 24.2MP APS-C sensor, which is pretty impressive when you consider the enthusiast-focused, and much higher-priced, D7200 shares the almost identical sensor with it. Like the rest of the Nikon range, the D3300 sensor does away with a low-pass filter on the sensor as well, which means even more detail can be captured. In addition to this, the native sensitivity range runs from ISO 100 to 12,800, and there's an expansion setting that takes it to the equivalent of ISO 25,600. that should provide plenty of flexibility for a range of lighting situations. Color-wise, the camera performs as well as we've come to expect from Nikon. The auto-white balance is a good all-rounder, safe, and reliable. We would recommend taking control when shooting in woodland to avoid it over-neutralizing the colors. A straightforward, but powerful camera, the Nikon D3300 strikes an excellent balance between the entry-level needs of quality and simplicity. It's not without its issues, most notably that it struggles to keep images clean at high sensitivities. However, the price is hard to knock, and the D3300 really does do a lot of things right. A very worthy first DSLR. The Nikon D5600 is a direct replacement for the 2-year-old Nikon D5500 that has now been discontinued. The new model is primarily targeted at photography enthusiasts looking to buy their first DSLR, and who have a little more money to spend, along with existing owners of older entry-level Nikon DSLRs looking to upgrade. In terms of its headline specifications, the D5600 is almost identical to the D5500 it replaces. That said, the newer model does benefit from a few useful new features. Chief among these is the addition of Nikon's proprietary SnapBridge technology that uses Bluetooth Low Energy tech for wireless image transfer duties between the camera and a connected smartphone or tablet. A time-lapse mode has also been added, and the D5600 comes with a brand new kit lens in the shape of the Nikon AF-PDX 18 to 55mm VR. This employs a retractable design for added compactness, and comes with Nikon's vibration reduction image stabilization technology built in. Unlike the AF-SDX 18 to 55mm VR2 that came with the D5500, there is no VR on/off switch located on the lens itself. You'll need to use the in-camera menu instead. Neither is there an MF/AF switch, although manual override is available by default. Despite only being a very modest upgrade to the D5500, the D5600 is still a very capable advanced entry-level DSLR. This is a camera which is very much a sum of its parts, rather than having one single standout feature. There's a high-resolution 24.2 MP sensor, which produces very detailed images, an articulating touchscreen, a decent 39-point AF system, and polished handling are some of the highlights that make the D5600 one of the most well-rounded, entry-level DSLRs available. The body measures 4.9 by 3.8 by 2.8 inches, same as the D5500, and weighs just over a pound at 16.4 ounces with the battery, heavier than competing mirrorless models, but the upside is, battery life is rated at 970 shots. That's impressive for any camera, but is a huge step above the mirrorless competition, where the longest-lasting cameras struggle to make half that. The D5600 isn't a cutting-edge camera, but most of its fundamental features are pretty polished. The user interface is for the most part well designed for the target audience. Its ability to keep moving subjects in focus is very good for its class, and most importantly, it'll readily take excellent photos. And, although it's not always as slick and straightforward as it should be, when it's working, the D5600 SnapBridge feature is a genuinely useful differentiator. Until its rivals gain similar, or better implementations, there's no camera that makes it easier to get your photos onto your phone. And it's this combination of convenience and quality that earns it an award. But it's the combination of rough edges that stops it getting the top rating. The Canon EOS Rebel T7i is the latest in a long line of entry-level Canon DSLRs that can chart their heritage back to the original EOS Digital Rebel that arrived back in 2003. While the EOS Rebel T7i supports the same 24.2 MP resolution as the Rebel EOS 750D it replaces, the sensor has been overhauled and uses the same technology we've seen in the EOS 80D. Sensitivity-wise, the 800D offers a range of ISO 125,600. That's an extra stop over the T6i's expanded 12,800 ISO ceiling, while there's a high setting equivalent to ISO 51,200 also available. You'll just have to select this in the custom setting. Footage can be captured at up to 60p though, up from the 30p of T6i, While Canon has equipped the Rebel T7i with a 5-axis image stabilization system for shooting handheld footage. The system is designed to counter unwanted camera movement, while its equipped lenses will also work in conjunction with the system. There's also a 3.5mm stereo microphone jack port, but no headphone port to monitor audio, something that's pretty standard on cameras at this price point. The 800D's optical viewfinder employs a pentamirror design that provides 95% scene coverage at 0.82x magnification, exactly the same as the 750D and 760D. The viewfinder itself isn't overly large, but it does provide a pin-sharp view through the lens. The addition of the newer Digic 7 image processor certainly makes a difference as far as burst shooting performance goes. With a 16GB SanDisk Extreme Pro Class card inserted into the camera, you will be able to record approximately 25 consecutive RAW images at the maximum 6 FPS with AFS employed. By way of comparison, the 750D could manage only 8 frames at 5 FPS before slowing down. While the 800D provides a good range of features and is capable of excellent image quality, it's by no means the cheapest upper entry-level DSLR on the market. That said, it's easily able to match all of its main rivals, and even surpasses them in certain areas such as video capture and live view AF performance. Overall, though, the 800D provides an excellent gateway to Canon's extensive range of DSLR lenses, and could be used as the starting point to build up a collection of specialist optics. For many newcomers to DSLR photography, this is likely to be a major selling point. The Nikon D3400 is Nikon's latest entry-level DSLR, and succeeds the D3300, that came out in 2014. Despite the 2-year gap between the two models, there doesn't initially appear to be all that much to separate them, at least not in terms of their key specs. Both models are built around a 24.2 million pixel APS-C CMOS sensor and Nikon XPET-4 image processor, and both employ the same 11-point AF system and pentamirror optical viewfinder that provides 95% coverage. The headline addition for the D3400 is Nikon's SnapBridge technology, which uses Bluetooth to facilitate wireless image transfer between the D3400 and compatible mobile devices. The D3400 also offers significantly improved battery performance over its predecessor, with Nikon claiming that the camera is able to record up to 1,200 images on a full charge, compared to 700 images on the D3300. On the flip side, the pop-up flash has a lower guide number than its predecessor, and the external microphone port has been removed. The Nikon D3300 lacked Wi-Fi for wireless transfers to smartphones and tablets, which is a shame, as it's likely to be quite a popular feature for consumers, to the click-and-share convenience of a smartphone. As such, it's good to see wireless transfers included on the D3400. There's no Wi-Fi, though. It's all handled via Bluetooth. Bluetooth consumes less power than Wi-Fi, and this allows the camera to maintain a permanent connection and transfer all photos, rather than simply transferring on demand. There's also an option to continue with transfers while the camera is switched off. There's no wireless remote control function, though. The video mode of D3300 is mostly excellent, but autofocus was a little clunky, and the soundtrack was spoiled by robotic whirs from the autofocus motor. The D3400 is much better, with decisive adjustments that were barely audible in the soundtrack. Being that this is an entry-level DSLR, it's not that surprising that the body mostly comprises a composite plastic material. There is a slight difference in weight between the D3400 and its predecessor, but the differences are going to be hard to decipher. The bottom line is that this camera is light, extremely light. This makes shooting it for long periods of time actually fairly enjoyable. The D3400 offers some very punchy, yet pleasing JPEGs right out of the box. The sharpening, even if you engage the optional fine setting, is fairly reserved, but the detail that's possible with a 24MP sensor is really quite nice. All in all, the D3400 is a fun and feature-packed beginner SLR that offers punchy, nice quality JPEGs with fantastic raw performance for the price. The modest updates seen in the D3400 really don't make it worth making the jump from its predecessor, but if you still want to upgrade, or a beginner DSLR user, this camera is an excellent option to consider, bearing in mind of course that the camera does have its limitations with respect to its AF system, features, and the overall control scheme. Compared to other cameras on the market, the D3400 sensor is still at the top of its class, in terms of raw processing latitude, and overall JPEG performance. It has built-in Bluetooth LA, that works fairly well with the SnapBridge app for transferring images, but it can be a bit cumbersome to use, especially on iOS devices, since the app is relatively new and rough around the edges. The D3400's center point works very reliably, but the 11-point AF system is fairly unsophisticated when compared to the mirrorless competition, and the contrast-based LiveView AF is largely unsuitable for moving subjects.